Studio 3 at Buzz TV. It's the Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
Hey, welcome into the Horse's Mouth here with Tom McManus on Buzz TV. Welcome to my bar. Like I said during the promo, we're going to talk to some heavy hitters here in town, getting it straight from the horse's mouth, straight from the source. No gossip, no third party, no hearsay, nothing like that. I'm going to give it to you like I always have done in the past here in Jacksonville, straight from the heart and straight from the gut. We're going to be talking to leaders in this town. We're going to be talking to athletes and coaches and professional people and entrepreneurs and the inspirational people that we all like to hear from. So, hey, enjoy the bar. This is our very first show, so it's very exciting. We may expand the bar. We may be coming to a bar near you someday. So be ready for that, and hopefully maybe one day you too will get a spot at the bar. We got a great guest lineup today. David Irwin, founder of Irock, will be here. Damon Alinto, president of Synovus Bank, will be here later on. But first, two very good friends of mine that I've known for a very long time. They're iconic in their own right. They've been here in Jacksonville for a very long time. I welcome to the Horse's Mouth my good friend Mark Brunell,
Tommy,
and Sammy Kavares.
Tommy,
hey, Sam.
good to see you.
Good to see you guys.
So
hold those thoughts. We're going to take a quick time out. All right, we're going to come back here. Mark Brunell, Sam Kavares, right here on the Horse's Mouth. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV, hanging out at the bar with my good friends Mark Brunell and Sam Kavares. Guys, also what it takes, we talked about toughness, but grit. When you hear the word grit, to me, that's everything a quarterback needs to have, right? And that's just game day toughness. It's savvy. It's finding a way, figuring it out, taking the hits, making the plays, taking off and running when you have to, just whatever it takes to get the job done. I know you both had that. How about Blake Bortles? Does he have the grit that it takes in the National Football League to succeed as a QB?
I think Blake has a physical toughness that he has displayed time and time again. He's taken some tough hits.
Yep. There
is a physical grit, and then there's a mental grit, a mental toughness that I think for Blake is still in process.
Okay.
Listen, he's still a young quarterback. I think he's only going to get better. He is a tough kid. But I think sometimes when the game is on the line and the quarterback has to step up and take his team down to score a field goal, a touchdown. He's done that at times, but I think that's the next step. Okay. He has the potential for that. He can do that. He's surrounded by a very good supporting cast. So I think it remains to be seen how much of that kind of grit Blake Bortles has, because this season coming up, he will have that opportunity to display that mental toughness. Yep. But physical toughness, he's got it, Tommy.
It's become a stat. I mean, how many times do quarterbacks lead fourth quarter or game-winning or game-tying drives? That's right now, for him, it's virtually zero.
Right.
And that's where you get judged on what kind of player you are when you can rally your guys to get those 35 yards to kick that game-winning field goal.
Yeah, no doubt. I thought in the playoffs he showed a lot of grit.
Interesting.
I really did.
He did. The first playoff game, Blake was not Blake for whatever reason. He didn't play very well. He was inaccurate, indecisive. He was just off for whatever reason.
However,
that, Mark, was that they knew they were going to win that game 17-6, and they ended up winning 10-3. And the way the game plan was put together, because the next week they go out and score 44 points.
Well, if you look at the Pittsburgh game and the New England game, for all of the Pittsburgh game and half the New England game, their foot was on the pedal. Yeah. They were pressing down the gas. In the Buffalo game, they were not. Hey, just don't mess this up, Blake. You can't play quarterback like that.
Well, that's true.
You can't play quarterback like that. Don't mess it up.
I thought the way he took over with his legs showed a lot of grit. That really impressed. Look, the negative, responses to his throwing that day, very warranted. But guess what? If you don't take off and run, they probably don't win that game.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he made some tough first downs. The pressure was coming on. He took off. I would have liked to seen that more against New England, where he took off and made some plays with his feet.
And a nice throw for the winning touchdown.
Yeah.
On fourth down.
That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
That's there. It's
not an
all
easy throw.
If you start thinking about,
Yep.
It's 4th down, 4th and 1. If we don't score,
Right.
blah
Yep.
blah blah.
Yep.
You start thinking about that. You're not displaying that grit that Mark talked about. If you're just in the moment, here's the play call, and all the noise gets kind of dissipated,
Yep.
and I'm doing this. He's open. I'm hitting him.
Yep.
Mark knows very well, and Blake and I've joked about this a lot, and other quarterbacks I've talked to. The hardest guy to hit is a guy that's wide open.
That's right.
That's
You can't even throw it. You can't even throw it to the guy. You're right. That's the
Shot put it on.
That's the hardest guy to
Take
hit.
it. You take it.
It's so true.
That's funny. I know we're all big fans of Tom Coughlin. I think him and Marrone work great together. I think that's part of the dynamic.
Marrone's the only coach in the world who could operate under Coughlin
Is that
like
right?
this.
Yeah.
And I think Coughlin is the only person who could hold that job with the Jaguars that Marrone could operate. I think this is a symbiotic relationship that, Coughlin said he had 2, maybe 3 names.
Yep.
I'd like to know who the other ones are. I haven't been able to figure that out yet. But,
Right.
Coughlin prepared, and he even said when we talked to him, acted like a coach all year long. Never missed a practice, never missed a film session,
Right.
all those kinds of things. I don't know that I could do that as Marrone did with a guy over your shoulder,
right. Good.
unless
Good
you
point.
have that kind of relationship.
And trust, right?
Yeah.
There's no question, and Doug understands who he's working for, and he knew what the expectations were. He was going to have to work. He was going to have to lean on Tom's expertise, and I think Doug learned 2 words real quick: yes, sir.
Yep.
And a guy that's had his Hall of Fame coaching career like Tom has had, he's won 2 Super Bowls. If he has an idea or a suggestion, or if he says, "Listen, Doug, this is how it's going to be," yes, sir.
Right.
And they work very well together. I think Doug being a player helped. Doug being an old school, we're going to be physical.
That's right.
We're going to work. That aligns with Tom's philosophy, and you're right. It is symbiotic, and they work very well together.
Well, and you think too, a lot of people don't realize that to build a successful team, I don't care what team we're talking about, right? You've got the boss, and everybody else has to be on the same page as the boss. And by the way, the players, they have to be the kind of players that can take that kind of philosophy, right? Can take. I knew Tom when he was 45. At Boston College, and he was rough. Let me tell you, I threw up like crazy.
Guys quit.
Guys quit. Damn right,
guys
they did.
quit the first year of the Jaguars.
That's right.
They just disappeared, man. They were gone.
right.
All of a sudden,
like
they're
I ain't
gone.
doing this.
Yeah.
And
I enjoyed them. I did.
that's
It's
what
always
you
fair.
responded to.
Yeah.
You had to kind of learn it.
I did. It took me some time, and I can remember my first 2 years with the Green Bay Packers. West Coast, very rarely did we get the shoulder pads on.
Yeah.
Get the pads on. There wasn't a lot of hitting. I remember watching Brett Favre go out to practice, first practice, and he's still pretty young. He's got a watch on. He's got a like a G-Shock watch, no chin strap, shorts. He's just walking out to practice. I'm like, man, pro football is great. This is so cool. They're just going 7-on-7, a 1-on-1, little team, half speed. I get to the Jaguars. I'm like, wait a minute here. What happened to pro football?
Yeah.
It was gone.
Coughlin's the coach that had practice at the Pro Bowl.
Oh yeah, I know.
Everybody, I know
right.
you did.
That's right.
You were the MVP that year. Everybody was like, "Wait a minute, we got practice? It's the Pro Bowl."
I went to 3 Pro Bowls. I go to 3 Pro Bowls. 2 of them, Coughlin's coaching. I'm thinking, really?
Can I get
this
away?
is the Pro Bowl.
Right.
I'm in Hawaii.
Right. Come on.
And my coach has to be my coach for this.
Right.
That's
I mean, he would put us in shoulder pads and helmets if he could.
No doubt. 9-on-7.
Oh, we'd have
blitz,
got after
pick
it.
up the whole deal. All right, we'll take another time out here on the horse's mouth. Damon Alinto, president of Synovus Bank, and also chairman at the Players this year, helping out all those volunteers, getting them together for the great event that is not too far away. More to come here on the horse's mouth on Buzz TV. All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. Sam Kavaris, of course, and Mark Brunell have joined me, and now we're welcomed with Damon Olinto, Market President, Synovus Bank, and Tournament Chairman for the Players 2018. Damon, great to have you, man.
Great to be here.
We've known each other for a little while.
We have.
It's good to have you on board. So as Tournament Chairman for 2018, Damon, what's it been like?
It's been a blast. Yeah, I mean, as Sam knows, last year was a tough year for me. That's when you really get into and you run the tournament. Yep. And this year's more of a laid-back thing for me. And I'm fortunate to have 5 vice chairmen that are the best of the best. And I think every chairman says that every year. But it seems like the tournament every year gets better. It gets bigger. Yep. And the tour, this is their signature event. And they want to make it the best in the world. And the tour staff is unparalleled. I wish I told Jared I wish they would all come work at the bank. Right. I mean, they're solid.
The question I'd want to know is that because Jacksonville and Ponte Vedra in this case is the tour's home now, but the reason that the whole thing is here is because of the volunteers. We had the largest volunteer force ever, as well as the fan support. How integrated is that still? Because it's become a true international event, but it still belongs to Jacksonville in North Florida.
It does. I mean, we do have volunteers that come from all over the world. We have a volunteer that comes from Malaysia, and stays a week, spends all that money to be part of the Players Volunteer family. But most of the volunteers are local. We have really reached out with UNF and FSCJ, and so we're getting young kids that are smiling, making a very welcoming event. And we have volunteers, though, that have been out there for 50 years. You know, Ann Nimnick has been a volunteer for 50 years and is a past Redcoat. And most of our volunteers, the tenure is 10 years or longer. And so when you have people keep coming back, it's because they enjoy it, they have fun, they've met family, friends. We've had people get married because they met out there. And so it's really a family thing, and unfortunately we only get together for a week a year, but some families that's good, you know. But it's awesome.
It's the best run sporting event I've ever been to.
It keeps getting better.
I've been to everything.
I think it keeps getting better.
It's the best, not the best run golf tournament. It's the best run sporting event I've ever been to.
Wow.
Well, I'm an old baseball coach, my prior life, and so I believe in servant leadership. And so I'm at the bottom of the pyramid, and I got to support everybody to make them successful. And a lot of that is empowering them to make decisions. And then if they mess up, you help them get through it, and you help them be successful. And so that's what we do at the Players. I'm not the good face guy. I got a face for radio. So I mean,
so do I.
so you know, I am fortunate that we have people there that are really solid, and it's just putting the right people, the right place, right time, and it all works out.
How about you, Bruni?
You know, I coach high school football. And the best way I could lead these young men is to love them. Because if you don't love the kids at that level, you got no business being there. You just love them. Some of them are hard to love. And it needs to be unconditional.
You say that about your kids.
You need to care about not just how they do on the field, but more importantly, off the field. My job is to develop these young men, more so their character than anything else. Got to love these kids. That's how you do it.
Absolutely. You know, Tom, I've seen in my career successful teams and teams that haven't been successful, and I think it's important to recognize the things that are the same about teams that become successful. A lot of it is what Damon talked about, empowering the people around you, making sure you get the right people in the position. When people around you are the right people, you don't have to say anything to them. That's right. If they screw up, they're the first people to know, and they want to make it. They want to make it right. I just think that putting people in situations where they can flourish, and making sure that they have the tools to do so, and then just keep them between the white lines. Go out there and show me how talented you are.
That's right.
That's what people want to do. Go show me. I'm not going to micromanage you. I mean, this is why I hired you.
That's right.
If all you're ever going to do is say yes to me, why'd I hire you?
Right.
Right?
I can do that.
I'm the same way. I think I'm a combination, you know, accountability, a little bit of tough love being the key, right? You can always, tough love is love with accountability. That's all. As long as it's fair and honest and genuine, I think most people can accept that.
And you have to be willing to operate under the same rules.
No doubt. No doubt.
And I think that's where a lot of people pay lip service to it, and
Yep.
then they have a different set of rules for themselves.
Yep.
That you've got to be willing to operate under those same rules. That hey, I promise you, you're going to get my best effort every day when I walk in the door.
That's right. All right, good words to live by. All right, we'll be right back here on the Horse's Mouth. More with my guests, and we may add one or two as well, right here on Buzz TV. All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. Our friend Sammy K had to hit the ground running. Paz, he's retiring today, the great middle linebacker that has donned the pads. Number 51 for the Jags, but we'll catch up with Sammy at a later date. Joined now, of course, with Mark Brunell, my old quarterback and good friend. We got David Irwin and Steve Elder, founders of Irock. They join us here at the bar right now. Guys, good to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, man, it's good to hear your story. We'll get into that a little bit later, but always, man, Brunell, I know, Mark, I know I speak for you as well, man. You love entrepreneurs. You love people that wake up every day, they create something, they figure it out, and then it's the hustle, right? Everyone thinks we just showed up on game day. They didn't realize what went through, that whole week with you ups and downs, being yelled at, being, applauded, what have you. But it really does take a tough individual to make it as an entrepreneur.
There's no question, and I'm impressed with these guys. Just a couple of young guys that came up with an idea and did something with it.
That's
you
right.
know, understanding that it takes a lot of hard work. It's a grind, as you guys, I'm sure, will talk about. But the fact that you're one of us, you're from this community, that's exciting. And I'm thrilled about your success and really impressed with what you guys been able to accomplish. And you're just getting started, so congratulations. I think it's really cool. It speaks obviously to your creativity, but more your character and your work ethic. Yep. It's pretty awesome. Just love that you're from Jacksonville too, just making a difference.
Yeah, I've got a tagline of my own: believe, create, hustle.
Love it.
Right? You got to believe in yourself, create something, and then you got to work your tail off to make it happen. I mean, I'm sure you guys been through the ups and downs building this great product.
Yeah. There's a quote that I live by, that I go by every day that drives me, and it's successful people have the courage to do what others don't feel like doing. Yeah. And I sit there and I tell myself that, and I'm like, I don't want to be one of the people who is not successful. So I may not want to do this right now, that I got to get up and I got to go do it, but I'm going to go do it, and I'm going to make sure that I'm successful.
Cool.
Yeah, same for you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a daily hustle.
Yep.
Every day we wake up, it's like there's a new set of problems that we've got to figure out.
Hurdles. Hurdles,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
What about you, Mark? What during your playing days, and even today, what's the one thing that you always get in? So workout? Is it something mental, emotional, all a combination?
As we're getting up there in years, 47, soon to be 48, these guys are far from that.
Prime.
When you're 25, you're invincible.
Yep.
When we were playing, we were invincible. While we prepared and worked hard on our bodies and understood what it took to be a professional. Even now, more so. Especially with on the physical side of it, I don't feel like I did when I was 25.
Right.
So every day I've got to work. I've got to run or lift or do something physical to kind of keep keep in shape, because I feel that if I can get my workout in, if I can stay in shape, everything just seems to stem from there. We only got one shot at, we only got one body. We only got one shot at this. So when I could get my workout in and make sure that's taken care of every day, everything else kind of seems to fall in place. I do it early, feel like I've accomplished something in the morning. The rest of the day takes care of itself. So for me, being approaching 50, it's important physically just to stay on it.
Keep the blood moving.
Absolutely.
For me too, it helps mentally. Whether you got a thing you got to work through with your job or a relationship, whatever. You talk out loud. People may think you're nuts. You're talking to yourself, but you're working out. You're getting those endorphins out. You get your best ideas. I get my best ideas. And like the Horse's Mouth, I was working out. Like, hey, I should do a show. How about that? But no, it does. It gets you all in tune with what you should be doing. So I love it.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with that, actually. Running the business, we get so busy, and hitting the gym and working out is pretty important to me. But, sometimes we get in this mode where it's just we don't know how we're going to finish all of our work in one day. So I'll kind of fall into a rut where I won't make it to the gym for a couple weeks or a month, and it's like, man,
it's easy to
you
do.
just start feeling it.
It's easy for that to happen.
Miss
That's
it.
right. That's right. Got to keep that habit going.
Yeah,
no doubt. Bruni, great to have you, man.
I enjoyed it,
man,
Tommy.
You're the man.
Anytime.
First
Thanks,
show.
man.
You're coming back?
I'll be here. I'll be here, babe.
All right,
I'll be
cool.
here.
We're going to come back too right here on the Horse's Mouth with the founders of Irock, the inflatable paddleboard company that has taken off, and we love hearing those stories. Stay tuned on Buzz TV. All right, back on the Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. My good friends David Irwin and Steve Elder, founders of Irock, the inflatable paddleboard company that has just been doing fantastic. They joined me here in Up Close and Personal. Guys, thanks again for coming on the show.
Absolutely, glad to be here.
I tell you, do you ever like, I don't want to say pinch yourself because you worked your butt off, but do you ever sit back, like you wake up in the morning like, wow, I got a big company. Wow, it's growing, and wow, we're expanding all over the place. How does that?
It's funny because sometimes we'll be sitting there in the office or on the phone, and it's just like you think about it, and you're like, Steve, we're awesome.
Yeah, we're doing this.
You're doing it, right? Yeah. Well, like we talked before with Brunell, it's one thing to have an idea, it's one thing to create it, but if you don't work it, if you don't hustle. Unless you get lucky. Some people get lucky, but not very many people. You gotta work at the craft.
Yeah, and our operation has just grown so fast and so quick that it's caused us to look at things we never thought we would even have to look at. Look at different marketing channels that we never thought we would enter into, and look at hiring even more people. As we grow, we thought that we could run it all ourselves like we've been doing for so long, and now we've just grown so much that we have to continue to build that high level of customer service. And to do that, we just need more of us, continuing to field customers' phone calls. And
is it hard to? You're not passing it off your day to day, but when someone comes in to help you, is it hard to say, okay, this is our baby.
Yeah.
If you drop her, I'm going to crush you. Was that difficult to finally get over that?
I don't know if we're over it.
You're not over it.
We've got a guy in there that's doing a great job doing some of the things that we used to do. That's really helped out a lot. But you still, maybe look at some of the emails or listen to the phone calls, and you think, I just want to baby our customers and make sure they're taken care of.
Now, how long does it take to inflate and deflate for the viewers out there?
Yeah, everybody's going to be a little bit different depending on, your fitness level and that kind of thing, because it is a hand pump that you're using. But
cool.
Depending on the person, 5 to 10 minutes to inflate.
Okay.
Deflating is a very simple process, just takes a few minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic. Where's the coolest place you've been with your business? I'm sure you've been to Costa Rica surfing over the years, so I won't say that, but where's the cool place you've been?
We just finished up a photo shoot actually over on the Gulf.
Okay.
Kind of in the St. Pete, Bradenton area.
Yeah, beautiful.
Oh, it was gorgeous. Yeah. And we had some people that helped us out with the photo shoot that lived down there. We had access to their boats. Yep. So it was just an amazing couple days.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. How about the future designs? You like you like Apple? You got 10 ahead of you everywhere.
Yeah, it takes such a long time. Yeah, it takes such a long time to bring a product from concept all the way through to what's actually available for purchase.
Right.
So we actually are working on stuff that's going to come out next year now.
Wow.
And it's not going to come out for another 12 months. So it takes a long time to go through that process.
What's the best way for someone to get the paddleboard?
Well, our website is irockersup.com.
Yep, sup.
Irockersup, stand-up paddleboard. That's right. Yeah.
I got it now. Off the air, I was a little off there, but now I got it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
and that's the best place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Okay. It's got our phone number. You can contact us through the contact us page.
Okay.
So if you got any questions, we get calls all the time.
Any tip for an entrepreneur out there trying to make it? What do you got? Anything for them?
Just
keep
hustle.
on keeping on.
Yeah.
Don't ever quit. Never ever quit.
It's great.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Once and don't stop believing in yourself, because once you do that, it's
and
over.
we've failed 10, 15, 20 times. I can't even, countless times we failed.
Right.
But it's that one time that gets you there.
And you never know when it's coming, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Right? Light at the end of the tunnel somewhere.
Yeah.
Just don't know how deep the tunnel is.
Yeah,
always,
but it's coming.
I always keep that excitement.
Yeah. Good. Guys, great to have you on the show, man. Congrats and best of luck with the future.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome. All right. irockersup.com to get your inflatable paddle boards. We'll be right back here on the Horse's Mouth, Buzz TV. All right, welcome back to the Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV. Had a great time. My first show of many right here live at the bar. Want to thank Mark Brunell, Sammy Kavaris, Damon Alinto, and the boys from Irock, David Irwin and Steve Elder. Each and every show, we're just going to bring people here that are leaders, people here that have been working here in this town, that are doing some great things. Whether you're entrepreneurs like Irock, or you're, Sam Kavaris, a 40-year veteran in sports broadcast, an iconic here in the greater Jacksonville area. Mark Brunell, the first really ever Jacksonville Jaguar quarterback. We were on five teams together, 5 years together with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Great memories with him. They all got kind of the same thing, right? You're talking about whether it's Damon Alinto, at the president at Synovus Bank, or you're talking about the guys from Irock or Sam or Mark. Look, it's all there's a common denominator there, right? It's all about you. It's all about how you get things done, how you don't give up, how you keep on keeping on, how you better yourself every single time. And I don't care if you're an athlete. I don't care if you're talking about business. I don't care if you're talking about being a parent, whatever. We all have to work on our craft. We all have to be as good as we can be at any given moment if we want that success. And if you don't, that's okay too, but you should still, strive to be the best you can be. We talked about, some physical fitness, working out. Go for a walk. I'm telling you, go for a walk. Join a yoga class. I don't care. Pick up your furniture at home, for crying out loud. Do something that makes you feel better. It'll help with your swagger. It'll help with your confidence. I tell you, when you get that together, you believe in the good Lord up above, all good things can happen to you. Believe, create, and then hustle. And I want to thank you for joining me here on the first ever edition of The Horse's Mouth on Buzz TV. There'll be more episodes. We'll have more people, more leaders, more stars that will bring you right to your television screens. Until then, be cool and be safe. And we'll see you next time.